Good morning once again. We are going to talk about the totally not beheading that happened in, I want to say it was Belfast. All right. So, why in the hell is the entirety of Ireland and the wider UK, why is it overrun with migrants? Well, in Ireland's case, they're still part of the European Union, and of course, part of the deal with being in the EU is to bend over and take it up the ass whenever the pretentious princesses and princes, the oligarchs of their quote unquote leadership, command you to. Anyway, for the most part, they were relatively okay with the idea, mostly in terms of the political leadership in Ireland, mostly because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I don't know, maybe they were planning on creating the Jihad Republican Army. I'm not exactly sure what the plan was, but they were okay with the idea of bringing in all of these migrants for the potentiality of a potential restart of the Troubles. Okay? Even though a bunch of them are not going to be inclined to say that, that is pretty much the deal. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, except for the fact that you imported a bunch of people from backwards ass countries who cannot, who aren't accustomed to civilization and how it works and the deal. All right, so unsurprisingly, yet another totally not beheading because this is the thing. The UK and Ireland, Scotland, all of them, they're essentially, media wise and government wise, they're all a bunch of cucks. Honestly, with how bad things are in the UK, I mean, the UK plus Ireland, um, with how bad things are, like, just, just get a nuke and just wipe the islands clean. Just go for it. Fuck it. Because the reality is, there is no intermixing, there is no coexistence. It's one side wins, the other side loses. You go back in history, the last time there was a mm, Muzzy invasion, it took the Poles, uh, and it's where the flag came from for the Poles. The Poles with the winged hussars had to drive the Muzzies out of Europe. And it's what finally broke them, because otherwise, Europe would have been a entire Muzzy continent. Okay, say what you will. And now, round two of the Muzzy invasion, they just opened the floodgates. And not only that, even though people in our fine European brethren countries, they find themselves in an even worse position than we've been in the US with our migrant horde, where, at least in the US, at least for a while, if you were economically displaced by people who are willing to work for peanuts, you might actually, in most cases, you would, pre-Trump at least, you'd qualify for some kind of assistance, all right? So you wouldn't starve and you'd hopefully have a roof over your head. But in Europe, you look at the NHS with the UK, you look at most of what used to be the social safety net in Europe, and it is essentially Browns only. All right, the people who go to work and make shit happen get nothing, absolutely nothing, and they have not only been displaced out of healthcare, they've been displaced out of housing, they've been displaced out of jobs, they've been displaced out of fucking living. So here's what it comes down to. And those of you out there, whoever stumbles, those of you who stumble across this video, if you live in Ireland in particular, I would very much suggest you guys start arming yourselves massively. Because here's the deal, and jumping back to the UK, um, I believe that they were, if they haven't already, they were planning on banning a certain length of knife or a certain type of knife. And I don't know whatever happened to that, but I know that a ceremonial sword of the migrant horde has been green lit. So you could just walk around with a fucking scimitar hanging off you. Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Yeah. And different rules, huh? Here's the reality. There's a lot of people, especially if you pay attention to the guys over there in the UK, who believe that restore or whatever the fuck, whatever the next political fucking incarnation is gonna fucking solve anything. Bitch, I hate to tell you this. You gotta get your shit together. You're not voting your way out of this, no matter how much you want to, watch Parliament go back and forth, fucking chewing each other out and taking the piss. All right. The only way for the UK and the only way for Ireland to move forward is to, I'd say, chuck them all out, but it's kind of hard when you have so many of them in your countries. Um, Really, your only option is time to get scimitars of your own by any means necessary. This is the thing. No matter how much the mm, the aftershocks of the IRA and Sinn Féin, um, the Muzzies aren't your friends, and they're definitely not going to help you take back the North. They are going to purge you, take over your land, take over your territory. Now, given I know that your pipes are rotted and your infrastructure is fucking destroyed, but they're not there to join you. They're there to replace you. There is no room for the Irish in Ireland if you don't fix this. If the people don't fix this. Because, truth be told, if you actually go through the numbers in terms of IQ, and this the thing, the Irish are fantastic, but in terms of IQ measures, you guys are kind of low, kind of low. Um, Great culture, a lot of drinking, but you guys are kind of low when it comes to official intelligence quotients. Anyway, you guys are prime for removal. All right. If you want a country, if you want to have your freedom, given I know that's Scotland, but still, if you want to have your fucking freedom, if you want to have any kind of fucking decent life, I hate to tell you this, you guys are gonna have to get vicious, real vicious, and the same applies to the UK, to the Brits, and to the Scots. If you want to have your freedom, you're gonna have to get vicious. All right. So give me 1 second. 20 seconds later. Okay. Give me 1 second here. An additional second, but all right. Police to citizen ratio in the UK. What's it at? Okay. Damn, you guys had. Oh shit. You guys have more cops than we do in the States. Well, not, per person, if I remember correctly. Give me 1 second. Let me confirm that. 2.4. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind, we've got you beat. Anyway, so for the UK, average police to citizen ratio 241 cops per 100,000 people. One for every 415. You can take your fucking countries back, but you're not going to do it by voting. The only way for you guys to have any semblance of a decent life again and an actually restored UK and an actually restored Ireland, it's time for you to start making your own swords, your own weaponry. Of course, long distance lead dispensers are much better, but you guys are a bit regulated in that territory, but that's fine. One dude with some black pipe can do quite a lot. Now, of course, this is not me advocating in any way for any kind of political or racial violent behavior. This is, this does not represent Space Consulting LLC. This is strictly personal opinion. But it'd be nice if you could just boot them out. But the reality is, if you want your NHS times to go down, if you don't want to, well, if you don't want to die from a fucking sniffle, if you want to have any kind of standard of living, if you want your kids to be able to own houses, if you want to be able to fucking have anything, you're gonna have to fight for your fucking country. All right. You don't necessarily have to fight for the political class, honestly. You can take the politicians, take them on a barge, and throw them into the fucking sea. All right. Don't worry. In the US, we'll be doing that pretty soon. At the rate things are going, yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna fucking happen. All right. You really got no choice. You got no choice. You're gonna have to dump your politicians into the fucking Atlantic. All right. Just middle of it, smack dab, push them off. But first and foremost, you got to deal with the elephant in the room. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, essentially, whatever you believe is, and this applies to all government structures and all laws and enforcement structures. You can't enforce laws if people refuse to acknowledge them and people refuse to believe them. And you can't enforce laws that people actively fight against you enforcing. All right, so if you roll over as a people, they will do whatever the fuck they want. On the other hand, if you stop protesting and start crystal nocting, things change pretty fucking rapidly because then all of a sudden the politicians realize, the people who make all of the terrible fucking decisions realize that they can't afford to fuck up. They're going to be lucky to make it out alive. Okay? This is the thing. I'm tired of watching people just fucking roll over and take the shit. All right. The politicians only have power if you let them, if you believe they do. The legal system can only oppress you if you let them. On the other hand, see, this is the thing. This is the thing. In most cases, what keeps society relatively peaceable is the persistent threat of violence. Now, it is normally the state against the population, the nation against the individual. Where if an individual gets out of line for whatever reason, the the system comes down on them and squashes them instantly, ASAP, as quickly as possible. That works both ways. That works both ways. All right. Like in the US, there's been plenty of stories of the Karens calling the cops because some kids set up a lemonade stand. Well, when the cops roll up to try to fold up that lemonade stand, if the entire fucking neighborhood, excluding Karen, comes out and chases them out of the neighborhood, they're not going to try that shit again. All right, because it is incredibly easy to overwhelm the enforcement arm of the system. They don't have enough people on payroll and they do not get paid anywhere near enough to risk having 1,000+ people chasing them down with bats. Okay? Okay? If you want your freedom, you have to fight for it. And you you can't just roll over anymore. You can't. Literally having a dude in your neighborhood fucking beheaded and your fucking media, because especially, coming back to Ireland again, your media and your political establishment are such beta cucks that they don't even have the balls, because it'd be racist to call these fucking barbarian defilers what they are. They have no fucking balls. No balls. These are the people, like, if you follow the fucking plan that these globalist scumbags have for you, if you follow that plan, you're gonna be in a fucking cage hanging above a fucking volcano. All right, where you're just gonna be fucked with and poked with swords and sticks and shit. All right, until they have the mercy in their hearts to finally, cut the fucking rope and let the cage drop into the lava. Okay? This all is essentially an extended humiliation ritual. All right? Just like feminism and the bullshit with women is essentially a global shit test. A global shit test of all of the liberal society, the liberal order. Why in the hell are women so hard up wanting to flood the country with migrants? And it doesn't matter what country they necessarily come from, but why in the hell are lefty women so batshit insane wanting to bring over uncivilizable barbarian hordes into their countries? It's because Western men have no fucking balls and roll over. And women, for whatever fucking reason, this is part of the. Oh god, this is gonna get real fucking weird. One of the issues that a lot of women have, even if they don't necessarily articulate it, um, how do I put this? So there's part of the abuse mentality, the abuse abuser mentality, where women, um, how do I word it? Women don't feel loved if they don't get smacked around occasionally. Okay, because if you roll over and let them do whatever they want and be self-destructive, and just as a perfect example, fucking run around being absolute fucking whores without any consequences, um internally, in their fucked up way of looking at things, um they will look at that as if you don't care about them, um, especially the fact that they're willing to destroy themselves and bring massive amounts of shame onto you and themselves, um, and family if you had kids and the rest. Women are essentially begging to be put in their place. That's the nicest way to put it. All right, and they are going to keep pushing that. They're gonna keep pushing the fucking envelope until Western men find their fucking balls again, put on their bear skins, pick up their fucking spears and pikes and swords and bows and rifles and grenades and artillery pieces made out of trash cans and start just unleashing hell on the society. All right. Essentially, just feminism alone is trying to drive us back into warlord tribalism. Okay. But then you have the elite at the top who are also getting their rocks off at the idea of literally torturing their populations. Like, yeah, you can't afford a house. We need change. You're not going to get change, dumbass. They control your fucking politicians. They own your fucking politicians. You think your politicians didn't go to the fucking island? These people got your entire political structure. They own your entire country. Okay? Okay, do you follow? That this is not something that could be fixed with voting. This is something that could only be fixed with the cartridge box. And people are largely afraid to make that leap, but honestly, how much fucking suffering do you have to go through? And this is fundamentally in the US, we've had this problem ever since 2008. How much suffering are you willing to endure to avoid doing the things that everybody knows should have been fucking done back then? Okay? This deferment of people rising up and taking responsibility for themselves, their lives, and their nation. This increasingly long fucking period of deferment, like, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. No, the fuck you're not. Do it or don't, pussy. Nut up. At the end of the day, nut up. You gotta make a fucking choice. You can either keep taking the fucking abuses, these fucking sick fucks, keep getting off to you not being able to own a house, you not being able to afford a fucking car, you not being able to afford food, you even the fucking boomers. This is the fucking thing. Even the boomer generation, the pensions that are being inflated away, the social security that buys you fucking nothing. Like, they're literally fucking robbing all of you blind, and you roll over and you fucking take it. All right, and then you fucking turn on CNN or Sky News or whatever the fuck everybody listens to in the West, and you sit there and you watch the owned fucking media, the three-letter agency subvert it and cucked and owned fucking media, pushing their junk ass fucking narratives, lying to you every day, pissing on you, telling you it's raining. You people take that shit. You take that shit and you turn it into, well, I'm voting fucking restore. I'm voting blue. I'm voting red. Blue no matter who, better red than dead. Um, you turn it into this political bullshit back and forth while they're literally destroying your fucking lives. Now, I will give people credit. In the UK, I don't know if they're doing this in Ireland, but in the UK, you do have people, and in Australia, you do have people throwing on the black mask and taking out those fucking spy cameras that they keep installing. Because, yeah, you can put up a fucking spy camera, but you know what? A cutoff disc can take down a pole pretty fucking quickly. And even if you tried to make that bitch out of concrete, guess what? A fucking chain and a pickup could fix that real quick. Alright? Like, this is the thing. You cannot, if you people out there, whether east or west, whether it's in Europe or the States or Canada, doesn't matter. If you people want to have a fucking future, you gotta fucking fight for it. You gotta start getting your fucking ducks in a row. You can only defer so long. You can only defer so long. Because I'm gonna, again, You think Koof was the main event? No, no. Let's get conspiratorial for a second, of course, for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. If you honestly believe that Koof was the main event, you've missed the fucking plot. You've missed the fucking plot. Because the next thing that they crank out, now given they did try to repeat the Koof narrative for whatever the fuck virus on that cruise ship, and it's whatever, that's junk. It's not going anywhere. But you do realize that not too long ago, a certain person who had citizenship in a certain country, in a certain state, like Nevada perhaps, uh, got caught running a fucking biolab with deadly pathogens and was let off the hook. And he had tons of illegal weaponry too. All right, that's the fun thing about you know. And anyway, we won't get on that. But Goof was the beta test. The elite, the people who you are voting for, most of which are not, honest to God elite. They're just puppets. They have a hand up their ass. All right. The actual elite on this planet want to, at the very least, cut the population in half. Okay? They want to wipe out 4 billion people. And where the hell do they want to start the majority of the destruction? Oh, yes, in the Western world, the civilized world. Ah, Goof was a fucking beta. There's not much time. They're drying up the fucking oil supply. They're spinning up the base layer for a fucking world war. Do you not see where this is going? Do you not see where this is going? They are going to try to spin up a war, take all of the people who would fight back against their fucking liberal Nazi nonsense, and because it is mustache manzy nonsense, modern liberalism. They're synonymous. There's no difference. The same kind of suppression, gaslighting, tell people lies multiple times and eventually they'll accept it as truth. Propaganda nonstop. They're going to take all the people who would otherwise be fighting back and put you on the front lines getting mowed down by fucking cheap ass fucking cardboard drones to get rid of you. And then they are going to continue this process of throwing out another plague. And they're going to wipe out half the population on the planet. And you are probably going to be one of the people that they wipe out. Okay? I gotta be honest. Gotta be honest. How many people caught Koof? How many people caught the Koof when it was going around? How many times? How many fucking times? So, by just the average count, if Koof was as deadly as it was originally led on to be, if Koof was as deadly as it was asterisk supposed to be, me and most of the people that I know would be dead. And most of you out there would also be dead. Koof was just a smack across the face. Fundamentally, the choice is yours in every single country in the West. Do you want a nation? Do you want freedom? Do you want to be able to have chest hair? Do you want to ensure that your children are not going to be influenced by a school system that is trying to convert them into the opposite gender with constant propaganda and brainwashing and slop? Would you like to go back to a more reasonable time, like the 90s, the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s? Do you want to go back in time? Now, given the 50s and 60s may not have been perfect for some races, but we can at least say 70s, 80s, 90s. Do you want to go back to when things made sense? Or do you want to join the pile of bodies that is planned for the future? Okay. They're going to dry up the food supply. They're going to dry up all of the base resources. They're going to strangle the fucking economy. They are going to consolidate power, and then they are going to tell you what you can and cannot do, what you can and cannot consume. They are going to monitor you constantly. And meanwhile, as life continues to get shittier and shittier, you will be told how many hours you have to work. You will be told, I mean, you're already told when you can officially retire, but you won't be able to. There'll be no retirement. They're going to take the retirements. And what are they going to do with all of the angry pensioners? Well, that's what the virus is for. It'll wipe them out. Kleptocratic elites, yes. It's exactly what they're going to do. It's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to loot and pillage and take everything they fucking can from you. And then they're going to make you work overtime until they're satisfied. You won't be able to say no. You'll be working 12-hour days. Yeah. 12-hour days, 7 days a week. Maybe 14-hour days. Maybe 16. 7 days a week. You'll be living in pods on the company land. And you'll be paying rent for those pods on company land. You'll have to buy everything from the company store. And the only thing the company store will have is bug food and bug water. You won't even get the normal water. You'll get the effluent. No matter how much you want to sit back and say that your life would probably be easier and better to roll over and just let the shit happen, let the world roll out as it would roll out. We all have an individual choice. I gotta be careful how I say this shit. But we all have a choice. Do you want to be a slave, or do you want to be able to kick up your feet and enjoy your fucking life for once? Are you tired of the stress? Are you tired of the anxiety? Are you tired of all the bullshit? If you are, take your countries back. And for the love of God, dump your fucking political class into the fucking ocean. Far, far, far away from land. And instead of, restoring the political system as it was, just bring everything back down to local. because federalization, concentration of power, is how we got here. Everything has to be handled on a local basis if you want to maintain freedom. Is it going to mean less resources? Is it going to mean less? Well, honestly, you're already getting less resources and you're going to be getting even less. So, what the fuck is the difference? Yeah, you might not have oil. It's okay. You can make do without it. It's going to be a rough existence, though, especially the first couple years. But they're taking oil away from you, too. So, what fucking difference does it make? There is no benefits anymore for just rolling over and letting shit happen. There's only costs and consequences. So, as far as those of you in Ireland and the UK go, and Scotland, for the love of fucking God, show the rest of the fucking world how it's done. Show the rest of the Europeans how it's done. Show the US how it's done, for that matter. Because we still have people who are completely fucking brainwashed and still tied to the red versus blue bullshit. The country's burning. Oh my god, our polling is showing that we're gonna fucking win. Win what? A fucking smoking ball of shit? Really? Well, yeah, but we won. Won what? Nobody's gonna fucking listen to you people. And that, again, that's the thing. That's what's coming in the US. The entire federal government is going to fade into irrelevance entirely because it's tied to the sovereign default, it's tied to the inflation. Nobody's going to fucking listen to them anymore. That day's coming. It's coming soon. Because people aren't going to be able to afford to believe the illusion anymore. They're not going to be able to afford to swallow the convenient lies. Most people are pissed off and they're ready for change. They just need one honest to God catalyzing event. And it doesn't have to be a national event, it could be just one catalyzing event in their life. And then these people are off to the races. That's where things are. But I'll end it here. I know I stumbled a bit, but I tend to do that. If you like and appreciate the video, like, favorite, sub, share, do all the things, ring the bell, ding the bell, tick the bell, do all the things to your heart's content, to the bell, leave a comment, subscribe, click hype if it comes up. What am I missing? If you're interested in the old written work, check out the Substack linked below. And if you are looking for personal or business consulting and you want a fantastic fucking discount that we do during the summers, it varies, but during summer we do throw out a discount code. And it's live, it's active, and it is probably as sweet as we could make it because we know that the entire economy is shit and people are really going through it right now. If you're interested in personal or business consulting, stop by the website. And I will see you guys next time. Try to have a good one.